up, everyone? This is the Jose Show. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday. So on today's episode, we are going to give you an update on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Alright, so apparently Johnny Depp's lawyer grilled Amber Heard on her claim the actor sexually assaulted her with a liquor bottle and showed passionate love notes in which she wrote she wanted to rip him apart. Camille Vasquez, Depp's attorney, launched the second day of Heard's cross-examination by asking the Aquaman actress about her claim her then-husband violated her with a bottle of Maker's Mark bourbon during a fight in March 2015. Now, she pressed Heard 36 on why there were no medical records stemming from the alleged assault. Despite the actress claiming that she sustained cuts to her feet and was bleeding, she got to say this: "I didn't seek treatment." And then Vasquez also pushed her on the progression of the fight. Heard has testified that Depp 58 allegedly smashed a phone and cut off the tip of her finger before pinning her down on a countertop and allegedly inserting the liquor bottle into her body. And the couple, who were newlyweds at the time, were living in Australia while Depp was shooting a fifth installment in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Heard pushed back, saying that she can't remember the exact sequence of events and has never claimed to do so. And Amber said that, as I have always said, I don't remember exactly what happened first or the sequence. And then Heard previously testified she feared the bottle inside her was broken. A photo taken after the alleged assault was displayed in court Tuesday, today, showed the bottle was whole. And then Depp has maintained that he was the victim and that he lost the tip of his middle finger when Heard hurled a vodka bottle at him. He then allegedly tried to hide from Heard as she went around the house banging on doors, trying to find him, according to his lawyer. Okay, and this is what Vasquez got to say to Amber. "You're the one who assaulted someone with a bottle in Australia, isn't that right, Miss Heard? You weren't scared of him at all, were you?" "I didn't assault Johnny in Australia. I didn't assault Johnny ever," Heard responded. And then Vasquez then confronted Heard about her writing a series of love notes to Depp in the months after the alleged assault. And then this is what was being said. "True love isn't just about the madness of passion. It's about you. It's about your best friend," she wrote in one missive to her husband. "I want to rip you apart," end quote. And then the handwritten letter was signed Slim, a nickname Depp used for his then wife. In another, Heard wrote to Depp that he was the last person I ever meant to hurt, and there is never a good enough reason to hurt you, end quote. Now, Heard said she believed Depp had hit rock bottom after the Australia fight and was committed to sobriety. She has said most of the assaults occurred while Depp was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. And then Amber got to say when things were good, they were really good. And then Depp is suing her, of course, as we all know, for $50 million, claiming that she defamed him by writing an old piece in the Washington Post. Okay, well, this is what I personally think about this whole entire update about the court situation here. I think that Depp is, coming clean to this whole entire situation. And I think Amber Heard is now seeming to be the villain here. Because it seems to me that Heard is getting exposed about lying about the fact that Johnny assaulted her, and about the fact that Amber was never really afraid of Johnny after all, and that Amber just wants to make herself look like the good person after all. And that's what it seems like it to me here, especially because of the fact that there were no medical records in the situation of the whole entire alleged assault of the whole entire bottle situation. So that right there is where things are now getting suspicious, and that is where things are now seeming to, seem that Amber is actually the bad person here, and she's actually someone that is not just trying to make herself look like the bad person here, but also is making herself look like she is a person that is trying to make another person look bad for her own publicity and for her own gain. That's what it's also seeming to me here. Because if there really was an assault towards Amber Heard, and if Amber Heard was really the victim in the situation, then Amber Heard would have the medical records, and then she would be like, you know what? Here are the medical records. I actually got assaulted by Johnny Depp, and in reality, I myself am traumatized, I am scared, and I have sought therapy help, and I've sought psychological help, and so, you know? But it seems to me that Amber Heard hasn't even sought any therapy help. She hasn't even sought any psychological help because of the fact that she has never really been the victim of anything. That's what it's seeming like here. So I don't know. This is actually pretty interesting now how things are shifting now in this case to now that Johnny Depp is kind of seeming to win in the situation and not Amber Heard. You know, because at first Johnny Depp seemed like the villain because Amber Heard, she was already saying a bunch of stuff against Johnny Depp, and it seemed like there were already proof that he was the bad person and he was the one doing a lot of the evil things towards her. So, you know, and I'm also, it also seems to me that Johnny Depp is, you know, also wanting to save his own reputation, and he's also wanting to save his own image as an artist and as an actor, especially because if Johnny Depp were to really get into so much trouble here, and if he were to lose this case, then chances are Johnny Depp is going to leave the spotlight, and then his career is going to go down the toilet, and then a lot of people are not going to like him anymore. So this is what this is all about as well. So I think that this court case is going to last another 2 or 3 weeks in my personal opinion. Because this story is getting longer and longer, and I feel like now things are getting more and more exposed here in Amber Heard's side. So that's what this is seeming to be here. So anywho, I don't know, my prayers go out to these two people, to these two folks, and God bless Johnny and God bless Amber. Alright, so now from Johnny Depp and Amber Heard to now more hot topics. Alright, so let's talk about Alright, so now let's talk about the Real Housewives of Dubai. So the Real Housewives of Dubai is finally here and looks to be the most luxurious. It seems to me that it's going to be one of the most luxurious reality shows. Well, it also has a very luxurious entry, and the network just dropped the trailer for the 11th city in the franchise, which features everything Housewives fans want from the woman: foul-mouthed feuding, glitz and glam, and crossover. Yep, well, very interesting. Alright, so this is what is being said about Carolyn Stanbury. Carolyn Stanbury says that anything is possible in Dubai, and Carolyn Stanbury is one of the stars of the reality show, and that's what she got to say about the sneak peek of the show of the Real Housewives of Dubai. And she's one of 6 women leading Bravo's first international Housewives series, joined by Nina Ali, Chanel Ayan, Carolyn Brooks, Sarah Al-Madani, and Lessa Milan. And also, she got to say that in Dubai, the women are far from submissive, and most of the women are running this town. And then she also got to say there's a lot of gold here, and Chanel then quips in a first look at her confessional, which looks noticeably different from every other show in the canon, and we have a lot of gold diggers too. That's what's also being said from Carolyn. Now, the Super Tease previews beachside adventures, failed attempts at exercise and exercise replacements, dinners and lunches interrupted by the elements, fashion shows, weddings, and plenty of shade in the sand. Take a look, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Well, take a look for yourself in the trailer for those of you guys that are interested. So, anywho, This is what I think. I think that it's very interesting how the Real Housewives are now going to Dubai. If you know, very interesting because never did I imagine that there was going to be a reality show about housewives over in Dubai. Considering that over in Dubai, I mean, things are very different over there, especially with women, and I feel like women don't really have that freedom over in Dubai, like here in America, you know, especially because it's like the Middle East, and so it's very interesting how now there is a reality show about women over in Dubai, but actually really cool at the same time. Now, I personally think that this show is really going to end up being a hit because I feel like a lot of people really want to see how life is over in Dubai, and a lot of people really want to see how the women are in Dubai, especially because I mean, a lot of the women that are over in Dubai are really pretty, and they really are going to attract a lot of men, especially. So that I can see, and I can also see the fact that this reality show is definitely going to give a lot of ratings, that's for sure. And I also feel like this reality show is going to definitely be one of the best reality shows from Bravo, aside from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Atlanta, because I feel like this show is definitely going to be one of those catty and feudy shows that is definitely going to be even better, who knows, than the ones here in America. And it's really going to give the other stars of the Real Housewives of here in America that example and that close look on how, a reality show should be. Who knows, I mean, I'm not saying that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and the Real Housewives of Atlanta aren't doing a good job. I'm not saying that, but what I'm trying to say is that this show from Dubai is maybe going to do better, and it's really going to give a good example on how a reality show should be, and how, and it's gonna better the shows that are here. That's what I personally think, in my opinion. I don't know. So we're just gonna have to wait and see for the premiere of the Real Housewives of Dubai, which is gonna be coming soon to Bravo. And for now, to those of you guys that are huge fans of the show, you guys can at least enjoy the trailer. And also, I think that it's pretty interesting how Lindsay Lohan is not in this reality show, because I know that Lindsay Lohan lives over in Dubai, and I'm pretty sure that Lindsay Lohan is that kind of woman that would love to join reality shows, in my personal opinion. I mean, let's be real here. So, I'm surprised she is not in the reality show. But anywho, please do not miss season 1 of The Real Housewives of Dubai, which is going to be coming soon to Bravo. And congrats to Andy Cohen, of course, for another lovely reality show. Alright, so now from that to now, more hot tea. Alright, so now let's talk about the Connors. Alright, so the Connors is actually in their is now in their 4th season. Okay, so after kicking things off early in season 4 with the wedding, the Connors ends with even more nuptials now that Darlene, Sarah Gilbert, and Ben, J.R. Ferguson, Jackie, Lori Metcalf, and Neville Nat Fexen, as well as Harris, Emma Kenny, and Aldo Tony Cavallero are all engaged. Okay. As a result of all 3 couples getting engaged, they decide to plan a mega wedding so everyone can get married at the same time. And ET got an exclusive sneak peek of the season 4 finale. The planning session gets off to a good start as the family collectively decides on an iconic venue. Now, after Darlene suggests they all get married on the shores of the Des Plaines River, John Goodman jumps in with a better idea. Why don't you just have it here at the house? We'll move the furniture out. The place will look great. You can save a ton of money, he offers. Okay, so everyone quickly jumps on board, and okay, etc., etc. Okay, so I personally think that if this show is going to be ending with everyone, well, not ending, but the season is going to be ending with everyone getting engaged, and I think that it's going to be genius, because I mean, hello, who wouldn't want to see these cast members, all of these cast members getting engaged at the same time? Who wouldn't? It would be adorable, it would be historical, and I feel like it would be something that I think would also give a really good example to a lot of people out there that are watching that show that, it is perfectly fine to get engaged at the same time as your other friends are or as your other people are, because it's like sharing a lovely moment with your other people. That's how I see this as. So, anywho, I did not go further in because I don't want to spoil anything, but um, I think that, in my personal opinion, it's adorable. It really would be adorable. And I also think that the fact that Sarah Gilbert got to still is still in this show and decided to leave the talk and is now in the show. I feel like she really is more dedicated to the show, and I feel like she's more dedicated to her acting career by far. Because come on now, it's first of all it's the reboot of Roseanne, and second of all um, wants to really give Sarah Gilbert that life, that good um, moment and shine, you know, especially that shine that she's never had before. So that's another reason why she really decided to, join this series and now, come up to this point to now that she's now getting engaged in this show. So I think that's very, very dope in my personal opinion. But anywho, I know for a fact that this show is gonna get renewed for the fall season. So that is amazing already, and that just comes to prove how much ratings and how much success this show is already having. So that's really cool right there. So the only one that's missing in the show, of course, is Roseanne. I mean, but I don't want to get into detail with that because I mean we all know why she got fired. But anywho, the Conners season 4 finale airs Wednesday, May 18 at 9 p.m. Eastern / Pacific time on ABC, so please do not miss it. Alright, so now from that to now, more hot tea. So let's talk about let's talk about Julia Fox, shall we? Alright, so Julia Fox gives reasons for grocery shopping in her underwear. Now, Julia Fox does not adhere to any dress code on Sunday. The Uncut Gem star was spotted grocery shopping in Los Angeles wearing only a matching bra and underwear set, a denim jacket, and matching boots. The pics quickly went viral, leading Fox to explain her look on her Instagram story, and it was captioned, "I think that if it's socially acceptable at the beach, it should be the same everywhere. LOL," the 32-year-old actress wrote. Now, on Tuesday, which is today, Fox also posted a series of paparazzi pics from her shopping trip, writing, "My vibe is just preparing for the apocalypse right now," end quote. Now, this is pretty interesting. So anywho, in March, ET spoke with Fox about stepping into the limelight after dating Kanye West. She admitted that her relationship with Kim Kardashian's ex had a big impact on her, and she got to say that it was the best thing that could have happened to her and at the time, and then she was adding that the romance was like hitting a reset button, and it kind of brought a spark back into her life that she kind of forgotten about. Alright, so this is pretty interesting how Julia Fox is stepping out in just that simple clothing, especially when she's going out grocery shopping. And I think it's actually pretty cool at the same time that she's doing that, because I feel like she's just showing off her body. She's just embracing her body, especially as a woman, and there is nothing wrong with that at all. And I also think that in this day and age, so many women are afraid to show off their bodies, and they're afraid to show a little bit of clothing when they're out and about, because of the fact that we live in such a sexist world where a lot of women are told to cover up. They're told to look a certain way, because if they don't look this certain way, then they're gonna look like sluts and they're gonna look like whores. And that is what's so ridiculous. It's the slut shaming. It's so ridiculous, and I feel like it's about time that someone gets to put a stop to this. And I feel like Julia Fox got to put a stop to this, definitely. And also the fact that she was rocking that bra, she was rocking that undie, she looked beautiful. She looked gorgeous. Like, we have to admit it. We have to admit it. You know, I mean, I'm not sure if anyone tried to stop her when she was out and about wearing that type of stuff at the grocery store, but I mean, if no one got to stop her, then that's a really good thing, you know? And also the fact that she was dating Kanye West, I mean, that's already giving a lot of impact right there as well, you know? Because, I mean, the paparazzis are like, oh my god, it's Julia Fox, the one that dated Kanye West. Let's take pictures of her wearing just the bra and the underwear out in the grocery store, you know? That's also what this case is about, you know? Many people are also seeing her as the one that dated Kanye West. Let's be real here. Let's be transparent here. So, anywho, so yeah, I think that the fact that Julia Fox is also being real with the world and is, you know, trying to even give a good example to women out there that women should not be afraid to show off their body. They should not be afraid to really go out and show the world, you know, at least a little bit of clothing. That's perfectly acceptable, in my opinion. You know, that is all I have to say. Alright, so now from Julia Fox to now more hot tea. Alright, so now let's talk about Queen Elizabeth. Alright, so Queen Elizabeth makes surprise visit to London Underground to buy ticket for her namesake railway. So apparently Queen Elizabeth was hard to miss when she showed up at Paddington Station in London, England on today, Tuesday. Her Majesty was dressed in a canary yellow suit and matching hat as she gleefully walked with a cane through the underground station to buy the first ticket for a railway line named after her. So the Queen was escorted by her youngest son, Prince Edward, who was expected to attend the opening of the railway line on his own. So pics from the big day were even shared on Her Majesty's Instagram, and it was captioned, celebrating the opening of the Queen Elizabeth line, named in honor of the Queen today, Her Majesty and the Earl of Wessex, visited Paddington Station ahead of the new line opening to passengers next week, read the caption. The Queen and the Earl met those who have been key to the Crossrail project, as well as those who will be running the railway, including apprentices, drivers, and station staff, end quote. Alright, so the 96-year-old monarch's surprise appearance marks her third public visit in 5 days. Last Friday, Queen Elizabeth attended the Royal Windsor Horse Show, and on Sunday she showed up at a star-studded televised event celebrating her Platinum Jubilee. Okay, so this is actually pretty amazing. I think that, you know what, if they are naming a railway after the Queen herself, then let it be, you know, and so it be. You know, but honestly, Queen Elizabeth, she is an icon. She has done it all, and she is 96 years old. I mean, it is great how they are giving her recognition and they are giving her her dues. So that is amazing, in my opinion. And also, I can already imagine how lovely dressed Queen Elizabeth was when she was showing up at the railway, and how stunning she was, and how much she was just happy enough to just show up to a railway that was named after her. And, you know, the fact that she was also escorted by her youngest son, Prince Edward, I mean, that already just comes to show how much of a gentleman her son is, and also that just comes to show how, of course, loved she is by her son, you know, so that's pretty amazing right there. And also, I am just very happy about the fact that she got to also be there, and she got to live the moment, especially because, you know, especially at that age, at the age of 96, I mean, you really can't live. You can live, yes, but unfortunately, you can't really live a lot of moments, because there are a lot of times that at that age, a person's gonna be at home and they can't go out to places because of, you know, problems with their heart or whatnot, or because they get sick very often, or God knows what else, you know. And as for Queen Elizabeth, she really is able to live a lot of these moments because she is a very healthy woman, and she is still very conscious, and she's very aware of so many things, even though she's 96 years old, which is pretty amazing, by the way. And the fact that she also is, you know, very aware of the fact that there's a lot of things going on around, not just with her railway situation, but also with a lot of other things. I mean, it's already given a very good pass and an acceptance to the fact that Queen Elizabeth can, in fact, go around the world regardless of her age. So that right there is very amazing in my personal opinion. And I feel like, you know what, a lot of people would love to have the mentality, and a lot of people would love to have the state of mind, especially, of Queen Elizabeth. All right. So that's what I think in this situation here. So, anywho, congrats to Queen Elizabeth on the naming of the railway over in England, and congrats. All right, so now from that to now, more hot topics. So now let's talk about Torn Hearts sneak peek. All right, so apparently there is a sneak peek of a series called Torn Hearts. And Katie Segal leads a cappella recording session, which is pretty amazing. So apparently the Bloomhouse television thriller is about two friends on the brink of a big break, Torn Hearts, and is available on digital streaming platforms starting on Friday, May 20th. All right. So apparently Jeannie Mai is reacting to the fact that the reel got canceled. So this is what Jeannie Mai got to say. Jeannie Mai got to say that it is really hard for her to process about the fact that the reel is getting canceled, and she also got to say that she is proud of what of what they did in that show, of her and the ladies did in that show, and that they were iconic. And she also got to say that it really is hard that for her that the show was getting canceled because that show really showed a lot of diversity, and there are really not a lot of shows that show a lot of diversity. And then she also got to say that she really hopes that the show really gets to open doors for a lot of shows that get to show diversity now that the show is getting canceled, you know. But she says that it is really tough for her that the show is getting canceled, and that she still keeps in touch with the ladies of the reel. That's what she got to say. And she also got to say that she feels so lonely being the only Vietnamese in the show, and she feels like there should be more Vietnamese people out there slaying it. So that's another thing that she also got to say. So, anywho, I really am proud of the reel. I really am proud of the ladies, especially that got to be on the reel, because they really gave it their all in that show. They really worked so hard to do what they could in that show, especially when it came to the hot topics, especially when it came to the intense topics of that show. Like, I completely remember when the ladies of the reel would always get very tearful, and they would get very emotional in these topics, and they would always open up in the show about what they would go through in that show, and what they felt in their relationships, or with their friends, or with whatnot, or what they would go through outside of the studio. And also, I completely remember that when the show first started, there was a lot of laughter going on, and there was already a lot of good connection and friendship going on with the ladies of the reel. And that right there already showed how much of a success and how much of a good show the reel has been. You know, despite the Tamar feud situation, I mean, there was still always a lot of good vibes in that show going on. And also, the fact that that show really did show a lot of inclusivity and a lot of diversity already gave a really good example of what a show should actually be like. And the fact that the show really needs more shows like that in real life in order to actually give a really good example to a lot of people. of color that they can make it on TV and that they can succeed and that they can actually have their own talk show, especially like the ladies of the real. So to me, in my personal opinion, I feel like it's just so sad that the show is ending, especially because I myself was a huge fan of The Real since I first started watching the show when I was in high school. And I remember watching it every single day and just watching all that good humor, especially from the ladies. So, anywho, I really hope that the ladies of The Real find a lot more success outside of The Real and that they get to also stay in touch now that The Real is getting canceled. And also, for those of you that are watching, please do not miss the last episode of The Real, which will be airing on Fox stations around the nation on June 3rd. Alright, so now that is it for today's show, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of The Jose Show. And I really hope you guys get to follow me on social media. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's episode by big time. So that is it. Till next time.